Last week I learned a lot about fertilizer and why some of my seeds were failing even before they got a chance to start growing. Today I'm going to be starting some new seeds, which is super exciting. I felt like I learned a lot about how to start seeds in the right way and how to prepare them to be the best plants for transplanting into your garden. And so this week I want to put that into action. However, there's a catch. It's 90 degrees outside. Well, not yet. It will be. So I wanted to get an early jump on the day and see if I can get these planted. Last year when I tried to start seeds, I went with a base of coconut coir. I read in a couple books that it seemed to be a decent enough growing medium for seeds, but I pretty quickly started to run into some issues. The seedlings that would sprout would be really spindly, really thin, and for the life of me I couldn't get them any healthier, and almost all of the seedlings died off from that batch, and that was pretty discouraging. So this year I wanted to change some things up a bit. I'm thinking of using a half and half mixture of the coconut coir and the potting mix that I have, along with some fertilizer. The seeds themselves have nutrients to germinate and to start the seedlings. It's not super necessary to fertilize until you start getting into leaf growth, but I figured since I didn't know what the issue was last time, I might as well sprinkle a little bit of fertilizer in the seed starting mix that I'm making. Only time will tell, I guess. I know I've talked about my kale a lot in the past videos, so I thought today would be a good time to plant some kale seeds, see if I get any better success with starting from my own seeds. And for fun, I have some cat grass. I thought that my cat would appreciate it, and it would bring a little bit of nature indoors for her. I'm being more intentional about how many seeds I plant as well. Last year I think I just did a generous sprinkle across the mix and then thinned them out from there. But this year I only want to use as many seeds as necessary. Lately I've been thinking a lot about what kind of life you have to live in order to be a gardener. People in their 20s obviously have very different lifestyles. Some people can just be getting out of college. Some people could be, well into their working life. Some people could still be living at home. Most people in their 20s, especially their early 20s, don't have a lot of stability. For most of my life, the people who I know who are interested in gardening and have gardens of their own, they have a home, they have a place to garden. And even though I love gardening so much, I can't help but wonder, what happens when I move out of this apartment? In my experience, it's very, very rare to have a place to even put plants outside, much less a space to do container gardening or in-ground gardening. And for some people, a good solution to that is an allotment or a community garden. That can be a really great place to exercise that hobby and that passion. But again, that's an accessibility thing. For me, there are massive wait lists to get into a community garden. And even if I did, that could be for 6 months to a year before you might have to move again. So if you're at a community garden, that could be really accessible for you in one apartment, and when you move you could be driving an hour or 2 hours to get there, and that's no longer really valid. So it's tough. Urban gardening is tough, not only trying to figure out the space for urban gardening, but also the logistics of it, managing your schedule, figuring out if it factors into your lifestyle or the place that you live. But yeah, I don't know, it's just something I've been thinking about. But I think a lot of good things can come from limitations. In thinking about all of this, a really big thing that I started to think about was, how could I design something that meets some of my gardening needs, but is more portable, is more urban friendly, low cost if possible. I start to bring in all these criteria and see if there's a way to make something that suits me and suits my lifestyle right now, and also suits my desire to be a better gardener and to do more and to learn more. I don't want to be contained to a little pot that's on my windowsill. I want to expand the boundary of that. I want to improve on that. I want to see if there's more that I can do. I've been thinking about a design for an indoor seed starting kit. There are plenty of those that you can find online already, and I'm sure they work great as well, and I could just get one of those. But for me, I'd really love to have something that looks a little nicer, is a little cleaner, and also is modular. I would love to be able to expand how many seeds I can plant, maybe something stackable. And also I'd kind of love to turn it into a lamp. And I don't know if you've been around grow lights, but some of them are like really, really ugly, like mosquito zapper ugly, like just give you a headache in 5 minutes. So I wanted to figure out if I could design something that housed the seed starter little array inside and then kind of enclose it and turn it into a lamp. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do it yet, but I'm really excited by that idea, especially if it can be stackable or modular. That means that I can make one, see how it works, and if I really like it, then I can continue to make more. Also, maybe aesthetically, if it looks cool as like a towering shelf or almost like a bookcase, but for seeds. A future project, but I'm really excited about that. I wanted to give a thank you again to everyone who's watched the videos so far. It's been really exciting to hear more from you all and to get a peek into your lives and your garden and what plants you like, what plants you don't like, what I'm doing wrong, what you're doing better than I am. It's just been really great to connect with you guys. And I'd love to connect with more people. So if you like these videos, please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and then share it with your friends. If you have any gardener friends, send my videos their way. I think it's supposed to rain tonight, so I might take a walk tomorrow morning and enjoy the fresh air that comes with it. So until next time.
Mm-hmm.